Greetings, Earth travelers, and welcome to the 12th episode of Astrology Roadshow. If you are watching this video, congratulate yourself for having survived 2020 and 2021. It was mentally exhausting for everyone because you would have had certainly been directly or indirectly affected by the planetary conjunctions and squaring aspects made during 2020 relative to the cardinal signs, and for 2021 within the fixed signs and houses of our charts. The outcomes were witnessed by everyone as the energy manifested globally, but particularly continues on display with regard to the USA, as explained in previous Astrology Roadshow episodes. The USA is center stage and seems to serve as a beacon for the world with regard to the application of planetary messaging. The final birthing step and cardinal push through to the Aquarian age that happened in 2020 started to grow some legs in 2021. 2022 will stubbornly reinforce that push with continued fixed sign aspecting from outer planets. It may all be necessary so we can toughen up a bit to withstand what is possible to happen down the pike. However, on the bright side, this year is also when important revelations will begin to take shape, providing added dimension. This will serve to help us re-energize within ourselves, see the distant proverbial light at the end of a very long tunnel, make sense and gain wisdom from the manifestations. We will readily observe this on a macro level, but it is also taking place within our personal charts as these major transiting aspects affect our natal snapshot. Please refer to your natal chart as we go through this year's transit themes. After viewing the overall scenario, we will drill down briefly and identify how this year's messaging zeroes in to affect each rising sign and sun sign. 2022 is starting as we ended 2021, right in the middle of a Venus retrograde within the sign of Capricorn. Important collectively and personally because it reminds us of all the 2020 Capricornian restructural messaging headed up by planet Pluto. This Venus retrograde involves a conjunction dance with Pluto. So it is a very serious retrograde season for Venus and involves Pluto structurally transforming what we value, which will be where Venus is located. We are no doubt tasked with understanding and owning the importance of the particular structure that is of most value to us within Venus's natal house area of our chart. Whatever or whoever is not integral to this area's value system will no longer be of great relevance to us by March 1st, 2022. Dear Pluto returns to its USA birth chart mark of 27 degrees Capricorn in February. So their conjunctions act as a final punctuation mark there, where all of Pluto's 2020 conjunctions and squares occurred, as well as the squaring tension it had ongoing with planet Eris the last 2 years. This is final and profound. In the USA chart, it has all taken place within the second house of Capricorn and therefore speaks to the structure of our resources. The USA natal Venus is what we value, and its location in the USA chart is within the 7th house of relationships and partnerships. Restructuring relationships and contracts with other nation partnerships will become more important and purposeful. The Venus-Pluto conjunctions will serve to give us better definition of the way to utilize the resources and ideals which founded our nation to benefit our interests and partnerships. The areas of democracy, financial wealth, technological innovation, media and entertainment, as well as efforts recognizing humanitarianism and freedom worldwide are some of the USA's greatest developed resources and offerings to our planet. Outdated or unnecessary methodology in how the USA negotiates its resources will become more obvious and will ideally be eliminated as a means going forward. Jupiter is feeling more like its old self as it finally puts distance away from Saturn this year. The last 2 years have been very purposeful for this benefic planet, but this planet brings us joy and luck along with spiritual truth, so it is good to see it dance right into a more whimsical and dreamy area such as Pisces, and also visit the sign of Aries in 2022. That will bring levity and fun this year, while those more outer heavyweight planets are very much still on task. Jupiter will meet up and conjunct Neptune in early April while in Pisces, and both of these co-rulers will highlight that sign and house area within your chart. If we look at the USA Sibley chart, we see that Pisces rules the fourth house IC area. This serves as the root of our country's natal chart and belief system, where the USA can grow from. It is where we receive nourishment to go out and conquer the world. For dreamy Pisces, this would indicate we attain our purpose by honoring our universal connection with everything and all mankind. This seems to have relevance when considering the USA often spearheads efforts towards betterment of our planet with regard to the Earth and its inhabitants. The visit of Jupiter here while conjuncting Neptune in mid-April will also trigger the Neptunian areas of movie entertainment and media. As mentioned, these are important resources of the United States. And so that industry will receive a boost, not only because of the Venus retrograde, but also this Jupiter conjunction. The suffering we have endured, both personally and as a nation, with regard to the pandemic, will also be influenced, since that is a keyword specific to Pisces and Neptune. Illusions, the shadow side of Pisces, regarding the pandemic or any other Neptunian area, will become magnified now and bring truths to light. Compliments of Jupiter. Jupiter's initial ingress into Aries happens soon after that in early May, which will likely re-energize the topic of rights of the individual in Aries theme. This would especially seem relevant with regard to vaccine and masking mandates. Then its retrograde back to Pisces in October helps make sense of events in a spiritual sense. Mars will retrograde the latter months of 2022 and enter its shadow period early September at 8 degrees of Gemini, but not initially reach retrograde degree at 25 degrees until the end of October. So after that time, anger issues may definitely arise. Be sure to be aware of that Gemini area of your chart and see what house aspects are being made there. Before this period, Mars actually is a happy camper and gets to hang out with Jupiter a bit in the early degrees of its own sign of Aries. So that is a bonus during late May and into June. We may witness Jupiter and Mars explosive conjunction on the world stage, since that's happened before, and with these two, it is certainly possible, if not likely. But it will provide impetus to the early area of Aries within our charts. Saturn's continued and final square to Uranus will make it seem as though 2022 holds more of the same challenges we faced in 2021. The transiting North Node, our directional guide, is in Taurus and will pass over Uranus in August, so it will be part of the squaring tension as well, as if we needed to be pounded over the head even more. So while that pass will further instill Aquarian Uranian ideology, it is also heralding the notion of stability and, of course, practicality. For the USA, the 3rd and 6th houses of Aquarius and Taurus, respectively, are affected in the Sibley chart. This would point to how routine policy matters are handled, that's 6th house keywords, especially with respect to communicating this to communities and neighboring countries, 3rd house relevance. Personally, the middle degree areas of these fixed signs and their aspects within our charts will also continue that struggle for refinement of issues relative to your natal houses and those ideals. Also, let's not forget, Pluto in the degrees of Lake Capricorn has a major dog in this fight and is nipping at the heels of Aquarius now while approaching its USA return point. There are 3 complete Mercury retrograde cycles in 2022, and each path will affect all air and earth signs in combination. This will help lend definition and substance to Uranus and Saturn squaring effort. Mercury is the great communicator, and we will have the coming together of information with earthy practicality of application. We will see this play out as continued attempts at discussion within the U.S. political system regarding hot topic issues and legislation. The first retrograde will of course involve Aquarius and Capricorn. Again, the rulers are Uranus and Saturn, and will emphasize the fundamental crux that ideals need structure to be implemented properly. Gemini and Taurus retrograde season will also be important. After all, Mercury rules Gemini, but also there is much energy focus in Taurus territory, what with Uranus and the North Node transiting there and squaring Saturn in Aquarius. And finally, Virgo Libra retrograde will fully display working to perfection all the details through give and take of relationship dynamics. None of these retrogrades will be easy, as we know, because by definition a Mercury retrograde is another way of saying confusion and possible mayhem. But it's also always a time that reminds us how important awareness and intelligent communication is to the whole picture. And this year's Mercury retrogrades all lead right up to the midterm election season. What could possibly go wrong? Or go right? Our amazing universe continues to message and reinforce to us the wisdom of it all. We are working alongside these forces, and it is our responsibility to be as aware and highly conscious as we can possibly be, so we can have uplifting confidence in the astrology and our journey. The USA's elected governmental body is a sacred tool for the mission of this country. This year, a cosmic event occurs on the exact date of midterm elections, a lunar eclipse, symbolically indicating a pivotal moment for our government. Eclipses are purposefully directional and very often bode a change of direction. This eclipse is visible and especially affects North America and the USA. The moon is symbolic of that which represents public citizenry and which will be affected by revelation. The sun is at 16 degrees Scorpio, conjunct exact with Mercury, and also anchored on either side within 3 degrees by both the transiting South Node and Venus. The opposing moon is located at 16 degrees Taurus with an exact conjunction to Uranus and within a 3-degree orb to the transiting North Node. The North Node's Taurus presence in the mix is very telling. The other supporting planets also play an important role to verify how sober an event this is. Saturn is in Aquarius, squaring both moon and sun within 2 degrees, adding further sobriety to the moment if there was any lingering doubt. This is a climatic peak for tension and intention of recent USA events. This will also represent a culmination within those house areas of our natal charts. 2020, 2021, and 2022 basically paved the way for tumultuous Pluto's return to its USA birth point, and then as it enters Aquarius. Actually, it has been hailed Pluto throughout USA's history. Other planets have been climbing on board within our consciousness to assist and refine the effort and to bring Pluto home. If you have not seen episode 1 of Astrology Roadshow, now might be a good time to do so, since it lays the groundwork for what is arguably one of the best stories ever told. No rest for the weary for Pluto. It does act as an agent of transformative change, to be sure. It first exactly conjuncts the 27-degree mark of Cap on February 20, then again in July, and finally, right before year's end in December, before going into Aquarius early 2023. We have all been cusping to this climatic year of 2022, and now we are here, so let's enjoy the ride. We will deal with Pluto's entrance into Aquarius next year, which should really put us to work. The following readings on the screen are specific for each rising sign, while I'll generally go over how those affect those sign modalities. In the absence of knowing your ascendant, rising sign, or time of birth, please use your sun sign to get an idea of the energy. Contact ARS at astrologyroadshow.com for any help with your natal chart. So again, these descriptions are being grouped according to modalities and start appropriately with the cardinal signs. Here we have the horoscopes for Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. As an overview, similar to 2021, the cardinals are dealing with continued fixed tension and resolution in the areas of how to best employ their resources, maintain the spark within romance and creativity, and also keep a fresh perspective within group associations and casual friendships. Spiritual matters will suddenly become highlighted and may gain a more prominent role within daily routine or communication. You will see the horoscopes for the fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. As a general overview, this is where a lot of the major work is happening, both last year and continuing in 2022. It is the area of identity, particularly as that is affected by your intimate relationships and close partnerships or ambition. Aquarius and Taurus are especially feeling the tug, but this comes with a reward, and these signs, Taurus and Aquarius, are certainly feeling their newfound genius come alive. The North and South nodal axis is taking position in Taurus and Scorpio, respectively, which serves to provide an evolutionary nudge. And finally, here are the horoscopes for the mutable bunch: Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. These 4 rising signs have been, again, given mostly a reprieve in 2022. It has been the case for the past 2 years compared to the rest of the zodiac. In fact, Pisces will experience the added bonus of directly benefiting from Jupiter's transit there. Sagittarius rising will also experience this beneficially since Jupiter is the ruler of that sign. But the good luck will easily apply to the rest of the team by aspect. The conjunction with Neptune in mid-April should prove to be an interesting, optimistic event. The areas of greatest tension for the mutables in 2022 involve routine matters, spiritual direction, and communication style. That wraps it up for now. Thanks as always for tuning in. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out on information to help navigate our bumpy way into the new Aquarian age territory. Next month, we'll reveal horoscopes for your Chinese year and how that has relevance for this year. Meanwhile, blessings to all during the start of 2022.